Welcome back, everybody, to, well, another live stream repair. We've got this HomePod for now, and we've got quite a lot more waiting to get picked up and worked on, but this one is here, and it is now, so we're going to get this one fixed up. It's got the common no power issue, so we'll go ahead and start by checking that with a known good power cable. Yep, nothing happening there. We've got 6 watts of power draw from the wall, which is pretty typical for these HomePods when they've got a dead diode on the amplifier board. This is the same diode that typically dies and causes our no power issues, and it tends to pull a particular amount of power from the wall when it happens, so that's how we can tell. Once we get this apart and we get to that amplifier board, we'll be able to tell also by the date code on the diode. It should be either 1746K or 1748K. Those are the two that are failing all the time. And as you may have guessed, none of the other ones that we see out there are failing. Like, we've got plenty of older ones out there, plenty of newer ones out there. The only ones that are failing are those specific ones. Subwoofer checks out, no concerns there. Dum diddy dum. Do diddy doo. And there it is, 1746K this time. Let's get that replaced. Oh, silly me, I still have this turned all the way down from messing around with my 3D printed parts. There we go. I was like, why is that not going anywhere? Why isn't that melting? And why hasn't the board burned up by now? Because we had the gun turned all the way down, you... That is more like it. A little flux here and there. Some fresh solder. Yeah, there we go. let's give that a second to cool off, and then we'll test this out, see if it needs anything else or if it just needed that diode replacement. Sometimes these HomePods have other surprises in them, like DC offset, which basically is when the filtering capacitors on the back of the amplifier start to go bad and allow more DC voltage through than you'd want. And it's the kind of problem that just gets worse and worse over time. So it starts off as a loud thudding sound as it goes in and out of standby mode, and eventually leads to death farts and blown up bass speakers and whatnot. So we always like to check that everything is still in spec before we send these back on their way. Even if it's coming in for like no power, we always check for filters, because that's, I wouldn't say it's a very common issue, but it is worth checking them, because I have come across a considerable number of them that also needed new filters. And to do that, we are going to plug in our subwoofer here on the bench to their amplifier, and that is going to be connected to our multimeter, which is connected to our PC, which is connected to OBS, and you can see the readout on the bottom right hand of the screen there in red. And as I stab the subwoofer, you can see that DC voltage fluctuate. So we don't want to see more than 50 millivolts coming out of this amplifier. If we see more than that, that means that those filters are starting to go bad, and even though it may be working okay now, it's not going to be a noticeable day-to-day difference until you suddenly start getting death farts, or you notice that the popping is like really loud. Quiet popping is perfectly okay and normal. And I've said it a million times, I have it up on my website, and I've got videos of it, but like brand new out of the box, first and second gen HomePods will make a very quiet ticking sound on occasion as they go in and out of low power mode. Inherently not a problem, because I'll show you. It comes from that DC voltage, and if it stays under a tolerable amount, then you're good to go. If it's not staying under a tolerable amount, then it's going to be a lot louder than it's supposed to be, more often than not. Oh, hey, welcome folks. Welcome to the chat. Didn't notice you guys there until now. I got the monitor with the YouTube chat up like way off to the side there, so I don't always remember to look over there. Welcome folks. I do love the smell of a good subwoofer, and I gotta let you guys in on something. Like I kind of like the smell of like burnt up subwoofers too, but like my body knows that it's cancer, and it does not want me to smell it, and I don't want to get too close to it. It smells awful, way too close. But like from a safe distance, oh man, it's a sweet smell. Let me tell you. I messed up. I know. Actually, let's get the power supply back in first. Oh, and I didn't even read out the DC offset readings. So we had, wow, spectacular. Only 2 millivolts. So these filters are perfectly fine. No sense in going in there and messing with it and potentially reducing the lifespan of this thing. Eduardo, start small. Grab cheap tools here and there. You can get a really cheap soldering iron too. It doesn't need to be a super fancy one. Just essentially a hot piece of metal that you can polish enough to flow a little bit of solder. And from there, I mean the hot air station, even we're using, like, I'm sure there's an even cheaper one on Amazon now, but we paid $45 or $50 for this one about 2 years ago, and it's been through more than 1,000 HomePods now, and it still works just fine. Completely original parts. Haven't even needed to replace the heating element in it yet. It's a little noisy, but whatever. Point is, you don't need to spend a ton of money on the nicest tools to explore a hobby. You can always get the cheap stuff just to kind of dip your toes in it and see if you want to, see what areas you want to get better at. Because if you want to be good at soldering, but you don't feel like you want to get into micro soldering, those are two fairly different things with two kind of different demands for tools. And different skills too. So you may not need a super nice hot air station. You may just need what gets hot enough to melt some metal. And I don't know. Jesus, John. I don't know where you live, Eduardo. Why are these not going in for shit? This is upsetting. There we go. That was the last one, too. I was gonna say, stop hanging me up. But, I mean, hell, go on AliExpress even and just see what kind of cheap crap you can get there just to mess around a little bit. See if it's even worth your time to go deeper into. Damn, I don't think Steve even knows I exist. I don't think he'd be caught within 10 feet of a HomePod either, unless he was like testing it. I wonder if he's even heard of HomePods. I don't think he's ever talked about them. HomePod. That's why I gotta get fixing other crap. Ooh. I had somebody reach out to me wanting, I had previously fixed a HomePod for them, but they had reached out to me wanting to get their LG ultrafine monitor repaired. And you could probably guess if you've heard of any of those LG ultrafine repairs before from other channels, it needs a new USB-C port. So I ordered some replacement USB-C ports off just some random eBay seller. And when I got them, they sent me extras, and they actually recognized me. They were like, oh, hey, I know you. I watch your YouTube videos fixing HomePods and stuff all the time. I've actually got some HomePods that are broken. Could I send you the parts to fix them up? I've also got some LG Ultrafine ports that need USB-C ports done. How would you do those for me now? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I should have some of those coming in to work on, and that's gonna be a lot easier than the USB-C port that we replaced on that Steam Deck. That was not... I wouldn't say that wasn't fun, but it was a little nerve-wracking. Steve is a closet fanboy. You know, I don't watch him enough to know if he is or not. I just check on his his really juicy videos every once in a while. And I guess I buy his shit too. Yeah. Kind of forgot about that. But I mean, this is nice. I like the mat. The mat's huge. I mean, and for the price, man, I don't want to shill, but like, I don't know if you've looked on Amazon for mats, but was not a bad price for that. I've had this the mat underneath it for probably like 4 or 5 years by now. Yeah, cause like Steve doesn't cover very much Apple hype drama, I suppose, right? Like I don't think I've seen him making any videos on like the recent iPhone 15 issues with whatever's going on with those. I don't even know. just to let you know that my HomePod that I fixed still works great. I'm even looking for broken ones to fix up. Hell yeah. You got addicted, huh? Just like me. That feeling that you get once you fix the first one for the first time is so empowering. You're just like, oh, now I gotta do more. I need more of these. Alright, what do we got? Power!
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Aren't we all?
I'm having...
Stop yelling at me. Perfect. Folks, we've got this one fixed up. Lunchtime is over. It's time to go back to work. So, we will be back later with later this afternoon, evening-ish, with a fat stack of broken HomePods that were mailed in today. I think a few more are still coming in. Hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.